Right.
I first came across Graeme Simsion when I read The Rosie Project some years ago, followed by the sequel The Rosie Effect and The Rosie Result, as well as the subsequent two books in the Two Steps series based on walking the Camino de Santiago. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Graeme and his wife Anne Buist as part of Book Week NI and the 135th birthday celebrations for the building here at Belfast Central Library. Graeme, you were born in Auckland, New Zealand, and migrated with your family to Melbourne, Australia when you were 12. You worked as a database specialist, both in Australia and for a short time in England. Your first book was Data Modeling Essentials, a very different type of book to the one that we have been reading recently. You wrote The Rosie Project initially as a screenplay before successfully turning it into a novel, which resulted in your first publishing contract and then international recognition. The Rosie Project has sold over 6 million copies in 42 languages, and Don Tillman has become a legend amongst readers. What prompted you to develop the character of Don, and was he based on anyone that you know?
Well, in midlife, if you call 50 midlife, I decided I didn't want to work in information technology anymore, or if I did, I also wanted to be a writer. And my original thought was to be a screenwriter, because I thought that would be easier, and that's a hot topic in itself. It is, but it's a lot easier to get a book published than it is to get a film made. So I learned a screenwriting course, and one of the things I learned even before I enrolled was that good stories frequently come out of interesting characters. You've got a really fascinating character, the story just about writes itself. And particularly when we have any form of comedy, you get the right comedy cast, you get the Simpsons there, or you get the cast that gets smart going back or whatever it might be. Then once you've got them impatient and write episodes almost, without thinking, they almost write themselves. So I wanted a great character. And most of the people coming into screenwriting are coming from arts backgrounds. I've come out of technology, science background. I knew nerds and geeks better than these other students and potential writers did. So I thought I'd write about a geeky type of person. And by the way, I never had the word autism, Asperger's in mind at that point. I was, those people I knew didn't identify as that, but they were the geeks, the nerds of the technology and science world. And they were often very poorly represented on screen books. They were usually comic relief or the weird person. You very seldom saw the story told from their point of view. Even something like Graeme is ultimately a Tom Cruise story rather than a Hollywood story. So I set out to write a story along those lines, and I was inspired particularly by a particular friend of mine who I've known for many, many years, and had a pretty dramatic situation in his life with his wife being very ill and so forth. So the original thought I had was to write a drama, not a comedy, but a drama about a geeky person really stepping up when it was needed, and the attributes that made them geeky also make them a hero.
Very good. So did you set out to use the novels as a way to entertain and also to inform your readers about the autistic community?
No, entertainers. So my original plan was a movie, and it turned from a drama to a romantic comedy, but I didn't have any noble desire to teach people about anything. Any more than just taking them into a particular world and a particular worldview that they might not be familiar with. Just as The Godfather takes you into the life, if you like, and that was almost the first movie that really took you into that place, and that was why it was so successful. I wanted to get the mind of someone like this. I don't think that The Godfather had to improve the world in any particular way, but inevitably your own views infiltrate their way into the story. So, and I think if you actually set out to do something noble, it makes it painful or viewable. Whereas if you set out to tell a really good story as well as you can, inevitably your own views and ideas are done, as I say, to find a way to that story in a more subtle way.
Well, you certainly made it entertaining. Certainly found it very, very comedic, the way you did it, but also it was very informative in that way. And I have recommended the book to lots of people who have had people with autistic tendencies in their family, and it's been very well received.
Well, can I just say here, because the reception of the autism community is generally been very positive. They would probably rather that I was written by somebody who identifies as autistic rather than somebody who doesn't. But they generally feel, there's always going to be some pushback, but generally the response has been it's a helpful representation, it's a positive representation, and an accurate representation of a particular person, because many manifestations of autism, as there are of anything else, as there are human beings. But what I would say is it's the third book in the series, The Rosy Result, which is probably the most consciously about autism. And there's a number of autistic characters. And if you wanted to read a book that gave you a sense of current thinking about autism, about different manifestations of it, then I think the third book is the best of the series.
Very good. The three books are presented as light reads. Really, it's almost like a rom-com, and you use humour to great effect with food and cocktails in them. And I know you've written a book as well about Dalton's weekly system of food preparation. Does all of this reflect your interests in like food and drink?
The food and drink is not great, but it's a little bit chicken and egg, particularly around cocktails. I'm actually a keen wine person, but when I read The Rosy Project, I thought it was more appropriate for dollars in the cocktails. It was more precise on chemistry and so forth. Cocktails at that point hadn't quite got the resurgence that they now had an interest. So I was a little bit ahead of the curve there. But behind it, in the way that the cocktails are mentioned in The Rosy Project, the roots of 1980s cocktails, like Harvey Wallbangers and so on. But I had to learn to make cocktails in order to write the book. And, well, I drink a lot of cocktails now, so
it was good research.
You enjoyed it?
Absolutely.
And by the way, now that Anne has spoken, I should point out that Anne, as well as being my wife, is my co-author on a couple of books and on the current book, and an author in her own right.
Yeah, very good. Pete's going to ask a few questions about that.
Yeah, just on the subject, moving on to the next series of books, 2 steps forward and 2 steps onwards. Can you give us a brief outline of what they're about?
So in 2011, we walked the Camino de Santiago from central France, and we weren't thinking of writing a book at that stage, but found such an amazing experience, and along the way had a bit of a literary epiphany and decided that maybe we didn't want to try writing fiction again, as I had previously unsuccessfully. And this book took a while to germinate and think about, and we wrote other books in the meantime. I wrote some crime, Graeme got the Rosy Project going. But we wanted to write it together, and originally we planned it together, and we do plan books, and we help each other with the individual books as well. And then we realised we didn't know who was going to write it. We had this great plan, and so we thought, we'll both write a book from different perspectives, which we promptly did, and I advise no one to ever do that ever again. And certainly our publisher thought it was an incredibly stupid idea, so we then had to paste the two of them together, so it's alternating chapters.
So the assistant topics you read the Sarah.
Yeah, I wrote the female, I wrote Zoe, and Graeme wrote Martin, and we thought romantic comedy was what we were trying to do originally. So we picked them as characters as different as they possibly could be, also to represent the different sort of people that walk the Camino. So Zoe is a fairly flaky Californian who just kind of walks out the door without any preparation and no experience, whereas Martin is trialing a cart. It's incredibly organised, knows exactly what he's going to do and how far he's going, he's got the maps. So these two people obviously meet each other and hate each other, but then through the course of the book, fall in love. But what we found when we read it, rewrote it, edited it, that it was a romantic comedy, a romance, but that wasn't the thing. It's primarily a finding yourself in midlife book. And the Camino is definitely one of the main characters. And we've got a big Australian Camino kind of group that received it very well, and we captured the spirit of the Camino.
I just need to ask about this cart.
Where
Where did this come from?
Well, it came from when we walked the Camino. We actually saw somebody pulling a cart instead of taking a backpack. And you can buy them. You can actually buy carts designed for long distance hiking. But we just sort of took it back in time with imagine such a thing didn't really exist. We actually put one in the book, but it's a poor design. And so our man Martin's an engineer. So he's going to design a perfect cart for hiking and demonstrate it on the Camino. So he's walking the Camino for commercial reasons. Whereas
So he's very spiritual. They've both got quite a lot of healing. He's a bit of divorcee. My character is in the widow, so there's a lot of healing, which often is the case for people walking the Camino.
Yeah, some of the minor characters as well are brilliant. The German guy, the young fella, and there's a British couple who run a hostel, and they're just horrible. Was that someone that you met along the way? Not necessarily names.
let me tell you, this is quite challenging. You ask, did this really happen? Because a lot of the stuff in the book was inspired by real people we met, real places that we met. So, but fact and fiction start to get confused. And I was saying, you remember that woman we met in blah blah? We made that up. That's just in the book.
It also gets confused because we walked it again, and again from Central France, when we finished on the Camino Francis, was the 2 steps forward is on the Camino del Norte, which is our first Camino. But it means that all of the French section we've done twice, and it blurs which was walking there and which needs to be made up. And certainly the Brazilian women were absolutely inspiring in their life. We were still on Facebook with the baby. However, they didn't speak English, so we actually had no idea what their real stories were. So totally made up characters, but they were lovely people that we did meet on the walk.
That's brilliant. Like, do you think being married actually made it easier or more difficult to write the book? Yeah, be careful.
As Graeme liked to say is that when we got married, one of the reasons we got married is we like doing things together. And it was great having a joint project. We're both planners. I'm a very sloppy first draft writer, which drives him nuts. But we just pour out the vomit draft and then edit it later. So
You.
sometimes he has to edit it, so that really annoys him. But mostly, I think we work really well with that. And I helped with the planning of his Rosie books. He's helped with the planning of my Natalie King books. So we've always worked well in that. It's only some of the sloppy first draft writing that annoys him, and I'm much more
And look, our goals are pretty aligned. It's not as though either of us would hope we're trying to get on top or get the other and that. We're married, we're going to share the financial rewards together, the kudos and so on. So, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, it's sit down, end of the day, pour a glass of wine when others might have gone home from their collaboration, pour a glass of wine, and you say, look, what am I going to do about Hannah in chapter 5? And that's a very creative time of day for us and a nice way to end the day.
Yeah,
We're never out of anything to talk about.
the book, especially the first one, really inspired me. Like, one of my bucket list things is to do the Camino. And I could see it in my head. I had watched that film, The Way.
Yeah.
And I was reading your books and very cinematic. If they do, I think I read somewhere that the film rights have been bought up for the first one. Who would your ideal cast be to play the two main characters?
Oh,
Do you have anybody in mind?
not really. We did at one stage where Ellen DeGeneres got the film rights, but then COVID happened, and I think with any idea of filming across Europe just kind of went into it.
We're in Henry Cavill's Martin. Okay, because he's actually officially still cast to be Don Tillman in the Rosie Project. But I don't think it's going to happen. It's very Henry Cavill, Superman, but then a little bit of an engineer mentality in there.
He loves me, actually.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of excellent actresses that could do Zoe, but I'd be definitely going more with the light Lauren Reese Witherspoon,
Yeah.
Carrie Mulligan line rather than almost like Kate Blanchett or anyone like
Yeah.
that. A lighter.
There you go. You got Reese with a spoon and Henry Cavill is our special answer, right?
I'm going to watch this, maybe a little bit. So what's next in line for you then as writing? Are you on a project at the moment? Or?
Yeah, look, we have just cut a deal with Hachette for, and it's not official yet, but I
Will be by the time everyone listens to this.
we just cut a deal with Hachette for an episodic novel. So this is structured like a TV series. 13 episodes, 13 chapters, set in a mental health facility, an acute mental health facility, which Anne is the expert on as a psychiatrist. So, patient of the week stuff with ongoing patients and ongoing interactions amongst the medical staff and the administrative staff and so forth. We're really excited about it. It's written for TV in a sense, but we'd say it's the book that you read as it's like binge watching a TV season, but with the extra depth that you always get in the book.
I can almost see it on Netflix now.
Well, yeah.
Out of Blue, I don't know if you're Out of Blue, will be out end of March next year.
Yeah, and we are in the process of negotiating TV rights too, so we hope that will be screen as well.
I really look forward to that anyway. So, well, on behalf of everything, I would just like to thank you both for taking time out of your holiday. And we wish you a successful visit, and we look forward to more books and more possibly TV programs or films from you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy reading.